thank you all for being here, people who are actually live on the call or just watching this video. This is the Holiday Masterclass, and it's all about talking through how we can feel confident and in control, right? Because a lot of times for the holidays, it's the complete opposite. We throw in the towel, we indulge, we say, oh, I'm gonna try after the holidays to get healthy or get on a path towards reaching the goals that we have. So why not start now, right? Why not figure out how we can embrace the holidays, but in a way that's healthy and feels good for ourselves? Because when you think about it, it's really 6 days. 6 days, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and then of course, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So why do we allow ourselves the 13 weeks of just not showing up for ourselves and being present in what we're choosing for our bodies, but also our mind? We have two special guests, Megan and Kimmy, and I'm really excited to hear their voice and their journeys thus far in the True Health community. Let's learn how to enjoy the foods we love, ditch the diet cycle, and feel confident in our body all year long, not just for the holidays. So who am I? I always like to do just like a little brief description of how I started and what my passion is, so you could understand why I do what I do. So I am a certified integrative nutrition health coach. That basically means a holistic health coach. We look at the whole picture, not just food and fitness. There's a lot that goes into it, right? To feel good starting from within. It's been about 14 years, I would say, that I've discovered my passion for nutrition and what I put in my body. And that's expanded way beyond that ever since I began. So it's really cool to see how in depth this can go and how I could help others and serve women to do the same. So I've been actively coaching for 5+ years, and I had a few aha moments in my own journey. First was my dad as my first client, which I had no idea was going to happen. But basically, I moved in with my dad when my parents were going through a divorce. And it was around the time that I had seen a documentary in college, and it really sparked all of this in me to want to make that change and to know what I was choosing for myself and my health. And that just naturally, what I was doing, he was doing too, right? The way I was food shopping, the way I was cooking, the way I was making those choices. He completely did a 360 with his health. And again, unexpectedly, I just remember he went to the doctors, got blood work, came back home. He's like, the doctor said, whatever you're doing, keep on doing it, because everything got better. His cholesterol was high, his blood pressure, he was on certain medications. So it was an aha moment of like, wow, okay, like what my passion is and how I see the world and see the food system and the choices that followed, right? The action I took can actually help other people and their health. But then I became a mom. I got pregnant. As soon as I met Albert, I was thrown into a world of chaos. Baseball world is very chaotic and uncertain. So the way we were eating, I kind of fell off the wagon, let's say. But after my first pregnancy, I noticed my body changed. I'm not going to bounce back quick. I'm getting used to this new body and that experience of just becoming a mom, which was beautiful in itself. But I knew something was off. I wasn't aligned with who I really was and what I wanted for myself. So after my second pregnancy, something clicked. I said, I have to take control of my health again and not let this go way off the wagon. I did that. I took a hold of it right away. I really didn't waste any time. I did a 90-day workout, HIIT workout 4 times a week. It was super simple, about 20 minutes a day, and I balanced my plate. So that was my aha moment. This is how I found what's going to work for me, and it's custom to everyone. So that was a key point. And then of course the most recent, and this was what the topic was last masterclass, which is dysfunction. We all have something that throws our body off balance, whether it be hormones, gut health, inflammation, and really targeting that to know what causes our own dysfunction in our lives is very important. So I was able to do that for myself, and now I implement that in the coaching programs that I have and the people I connect with. I like to find what that is for them and find balance, right? Rebalance our lives. So, and I absolutely love what I do. And this is not a diet. At the end of the day, it's a way of living. So this call in particular is for women who want to create sustainability. They want to create a lifestyle that fits into who they are to find that true health. And that's where the name True Health comes in, because we want to be true to ourselves. So I help women get their confidence and their health back, learn from some of the best functional medicine and alternative medicine doctors out there through the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. And I also have a certification in gut health, which I really find the foundation of where illness or health comes from. How many of you have ever started a new diet in January, hoping that this would finally be it? Kind of think about this. I really want to envision the past. Okay, we have Nancy. You know, this is something, and we have, yeah, a couple more hands raised. This is something that's very true and real for many people out there. We want to find that control and that confidence and reverse this way of thinking. So the emotional toll of dieting, let's dive into this a little bit more. Many women experience exhaustion of doing this over and over, losing the weight, gaining it back. There's a lot of things out there that can help us lose weight, right? I think we can all agree we've been on some kind of diet, whether it provided a product, a shake, meals, whatever it may be. There's a lot of things out there that could give you that satisfaction of losing the weight, especially quick, right? Which is a sign that it's not in the right way or the healthy way. And that is the start of the cycle, right? I call this the sabotage cycle because, we want that gratification and we want that result. But in the end, we waste our time, right? Like just time goes by because we end up in the same spot with the same problem. So part of why I'm doing all of this and created all this is to break that, find a way to create our forever diet. So why most women struggle every holiday season, that cycle just keeps many women stuck. Trying every diet, losing weight, gaining it back, feeling controlled by food and guilt, afraid of ruining progress during the holidays, which is a big one too. We get right back into thinking, I'm just going to throw in the towel again because it's the holidays. So not having stability really, and believing that you just don't have the willpower. So you haven't built a strong foundation to fall back on. And that's where we're going to get into that self-talk as well. But you feel like you're doing everything right and never feel in control. You're stressed, you're exhausted, and living in an all or nothing cycle that steals your confidence and your joy. So here's the big shift. The problem isn't you, it's the approach. It's the mindset. We've all been taught to chase quick fixes, and people, spend billions of dollars to market these diets to us. We've all become victim of that, but real health starts when you align your body and not fight it. So you've been taught heavy exercise as well. This is another big one. And Megan, I know, can share a lot about this and her experience of thinking like, yeah, I have to go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week and really missing the target. And I love this picture because it's so true. How many times do we miss the target? How many times do we say, okay, this is what I need, and then find out that it's not what worked? So the holistic, right? The bigger picture is something that a lot of women also miss. But your body doesn't need punishment. It actually needs partnership. So when you shift your mindset and nourish deeply, you find that balance and everything changes. Nancy, I'm so glad you're on this call because I know this is something we kind of discovered together, this term, your healthy convenience. We must find that because today's world, everything around us that's convenient is unhealthy. We have way more hurdles to jump through, a lot of factors that just make it harder for us, maybe than any other generation before. So it's real. The struggle is real. Our food system is also part of this problem. Besides the marketing and all these diets out there, how do we find our healthy convenience? And that's where a lot of times the thing that we built, this vessel of community, accountability, like-minded women, the support, the guidance, right, to build that strong foundation, that's where all of that comes in, because it's not easy for someone by themselves to reverse this or to overcome that everyday unhealthy convenience. So I just wanted to throw the slide in there because it's truly, it might not be the topic of discussion, this masterclass, but it's so important that we try and find that for ourselves in some way or the other. And my clients have done that. So we're going to share that too directly from them. And I'm really excited for them to show you their side of it. So true health. What does true health look like? We had this as part of our group discussion not too long ago. I asked all my clients to come with their definition of true health. And it was beautiful to see all the different responses. It means something different to each and every person, but there's a lot of similarities to it too. So true health to me, it looks like when you eat your favorite foods without guilt or restriction. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how do you do that? How do you have sweets and dessert and these things? I'm targeting sugar here, but there could be other things too. But how do you have that and feel good still, right? Like, how do you know how to balance that? Uh, that's what true health is, like knowing exactly how to nourish your body with no confusion. You're laser focused. You have that confidence and control. You move because you love it and how it makes you feel, not as a punishment. You're proud of your reflection, not at war with it, right? So reflecting on the times that weren't perfect, the challenges, embracing those moments because that's part of what's going to make you stronger and get you through. So it's not getting knocked down, it's how you get back up. And then the fact that you're in control through the holidays, vacations, and beyond. It's not just, one time of the year or a quick fix. So that's what true health and confidence should feel like, that food freedom and feeling good from the inside out and outside in. So of course I have to ask this question, what is your reason why? This is like the foundation of what motivates you or what should motivate you. Your reason why is everything. So this is just something you could think about briefly right now. You could write it down if anyone has a pen and paper. But the more you do this for yourself, the better off you're going to be because it's going to be a constant reminder of that thing in you that drives you and brings you, that passion of reaching your goals. And then a secondary question to this is what would be the cost of your inaction if you don't align your mindset to this way, right? The sustainable way. If you don't do that and you continue to ignore it or go down a path of dieting and just not seeing the bigger picture, what would the risk be with your health, with everything? So we have to think about that. If we're not taking action, if we're not seeing progress right now, whatever we've been doing yesterday, what can happen? And this is your life and your reality. So no one can answer this for you but you, but it's a real question. So honing in on that reason why and really thinking about the costs or the risks if you do not establish this, right? This is sustainable health, true health. And then we have a statistic here. 75% of people or women report feeling more confident and balanced during the holidays by adopting sustainable habits that prioritize health and enjoyment over restriction and self-judgment. Of course, that's a given, right? Who wants, when women go on diets, I don't think they want to be restrictive. I think, again, it's just the trap we fall into. We think that that's the right way, and that's how it's supposed to be. So when we're blind to that, of course, we're not going to feel as confident or balanced because it's, again, that terrible cycle. So the True Health community is a big part of the success of my clients. And I'm excited because we're getting up to the part where we're going to hear from them speak. And I just want to touch on this and hopefully they share some light on this too, because this is something that I didn't always start with as a health coach. I didn't always have a community or a group at the same time. So cultivating that over time, I've seen the impact that it has on everyone. Research suggests that women in a structured group or community base is significantly more likely to achieve meaningful weight loss than going solo. It provides the accountability, the support, the connection, the relatability, and the positive environment. Even though there's differences, there's a lot of similarities. And that's the cool part to see because everyone can be successful in their own way. I know we love to see Fridays come because that is our wins and challenges and everyone shares what their win was. So embracing those differences, but also cheering each other on and knowing that we're all on a similar journey to the same thing, which is true health, right? Ultimately, real transformation. So here we go. We have Kimmy and Megan, and some of the similarities that they've experienced, the true health wins, are losing weight while eating full whole foods without restriction. They've learned to find their enjoyment and balance in home cooking. They learned what sustainable habits look like, and they ditched that negative self-talk and adapted a positive mindset and self-love. I cannot wait to hear from both of these women. We have Megan up first. She hit her goal weight in 90 days. So she went through the 3 phases. We got weight loss, muscle building, and maintenance, which is her journey. And here's a little quote. It says, I've lost 20 pounds, but more importantly, I've gained freedom and I know how to provide nourishment for my mind and my body. I'm not going to be scared. I'm going to be confident this holiday season. So Megan, take it away.
Well, thank you for having me, Crystal. Oh my God, where should I start? I guess I could just start with what led me here, right? I'm in my 30s, but I think since I was just like a little girl, I always just associated like being thin with restriction. And then naturally, like if I was stressed out, I was just a non-eater. So like you could not get me to be an emotional eater. If you tried, like I was just starve myself. And that worked for really a long time. And then as I got a little bit older, like high school into college, I had like this love for fitness. I still have a love for fitness, but it just made sense to like do all these workouts and like eat very little. And again, like that's what kind of kept me thin. But I wasn't nourishing my body. And I think I just kind of flew under the radar and people just always thought I ate healthy until I got where I am now and I'm older, I'm a mom, on the cusp of all the perimenopause symptoms. And I had everything just kind of going crazy at once, like my mental health, my physical health, like my everything, like nutrition was a mess. I had gone to the doctors and I knew I was hitting perimenopause based on like all the classic symptoms, right? Like the hot flashes in the middle of the night. Like I was so fatigued. Like I was just so tired living. Like I would wake up exhausted and the brain fog, like it was out of control. Like I just could not put words in a sentence together. I would get random headaches, like all the things that I was like, what is happening to my body? And I was gaining weight. And I was like, oh no. So the doctors didn't know what to do. They were just like, yeah, this is probably what it is, but like, what do you want us to do about it? Like, they gave me a paper that just basically said, eat healthy, work out. And I'm like, I work out all the time. So I just kicked it up. And so I just decided, okay, like, I'll do like 2-a-day workouts. And I was getting up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, like because I'd wake up in like this hot flash and I'd be like, well, I'm already awake, so might as well start the first workout. And then I would just like starve myself. Like I think I was down to about like one meal a day. Like some days I could go without eating at all. And my body was so inflamed. And throughout everything I was doing, right? Like working on my mental health, the biggest thing I was discussing with my therapist was self-love. And I just came to a point where I was like, how can I say I love myself if I'm doing this to my body? Like that's in essence a contradiction. That is not self-love. And I have two little girls that look up to me. Like, what am I showing them? Like they're gonna hear my words, but they're not gonna learn from that. They're gonna follow my footsteps and whatever actions I'm doing. And I don't want them to feel like this is how life feels when you're an adult struggling like with your family and just life in general. So I knew at the end of the day that all of my fitness, I knew it wasn't for nothing, but I was looking in the mirror and I remember distinctly saying to myself, like, this is not fitness. This is not like lack of trying. This is simply my nutrition. And I was like, I have to get control of this. And that's when like me and you had been, social media friends for a little while. So it just so happened you had a post that came up and I was like, you know what? Like, let me give it a try. And I honestly feel like the biggest shift in all of this has obviously been my mindset, right? Because you've taught me and you've shown me, you've proven to me that eating more and I'm losing weight. But I do think that what helped me shift to like that freedom and balance was finding you and having a health coach because it really is like having somebody hold your hand through it. Like we started very slow baby steps, just kind of looking at the pantry. Like you already knew I had a good routine. I'm up every day at 4:45. I'm getting those workouts in. That is not a problem. And I remember saying to you when we started the calorie deficit, like I was like, this is where I thrive. Like, tell me not to eat and I won't. And like that went on for like a couple of weeks. Then you were like, Megan, like you have to eat. And I was like, oh no, no, no. Like I am well beyond like well underneath my calories. Like I am doing good. And you were like, no, like you gotta eat a little bit more. And I was so fearful. But it was having you, like you were monitoring what I was doing every day. Like if, you always think to yourself, like, oh my God, I'm going to gain 10 pounds when I wake up tomorrow morning. And that's not what happens at all. Like, yeah, if you're going to gain 10 pounds, that's going to happen due to a longevity of bad decisions. So it was good because I remember you saying to me, hey, if you gain a pound, like, hey, you know what? We'll adjust the program. Like, we'll fix it. But that never happened. Like, I just kept going down and down and down and down. And I was like, oh my God. And you kept having me eat more and more and more. And I'm like, wait a minute, what's happening?
I know. It's insane. Honestly, like you guys surprise me and it just pulls something out of me as a coach that's just so rewarding, because watching you succeed and build this foundation for yourself that's unique to you. Like, I always love to find the strengths of each person, your strengths that you come in with. Like you said, you wake up early already. Like it was already, okay, let's take advantage of that, right? Let's find something that's going to work with your body, feel good, allow the progress to happen and the results to happen. And you've literally honed in on the momentum that you've built and ran with it. You were listening to your body and letting your body and how you felt lead the way. But again, growing the self-love, you touched on so many important parts, that you experienced: the mindset, the self-love. It's the interconnectedness to every little thing we experience. Yeah.
No, that's like so important because like me as a person, I've always been connected like with my body. Like I've always been a cheerleader. I'm always doing like things of flexible nature. Like I am very like zen to a certain degree. Like, but it was so disconnected. Like from years of starving myself, I remember telling you, like, I was like, oh, I'm feeling hungry. Like my body had stopped giving myself hunger cues a long time ago, like probably before I even hit my 20s. Just even feeling like, oh, I'm hungry was like a new experience for me, which sounds freaking like outlandish, really, right? But that's what restricting yourself does to yourself.
Right.
And, I'm so happy that you decided to do this holiday masterclass because the holidays in particular were just such an overwhelming, triggering time. And I feel like it it plays on that restrictive diet culture because you said it, like the holidays really start from the holidays, right? We start to overindulge with the Halloween treats. So you go trick-or-treating, whether it's with your kids or you go to like parties even, right? You're overindulging in the alcohol and the sweets, like all this stuff, right? And then you're like, oh crap, like I've got to now punish myself with all these extra workouts and like stop eating because I just ate so much. And then you get to like Thanksgiving. A lot of people, right, in the fitness world, we're like, okay, it's Thanksgiving. We're going to start our days off with like some crazy workout so we can allow ourselves to eat, which is really the totally wrong mentality to have because I would do that and I wouldn't eat all morning, right? I'd save it for that Thanksgiving, even though that Thanksgiving meal that everybody always posts, it's this huge plate filled with food. I would feel such crap afterwards. Like it was just such a heavy feeling, and I hate feeling that way to begin with. And it doesn't just end on that night. You wake up the next day and you're like, I feel like I got ran over by a truck. And then you continue the restriction because you're like, oh my God, I just ate so much. So I'm going to do all these crazy workouts and I'm going to restrict myself. And like for me, I'm Italian. So all of December is Christmas. Every single weekend, I'm hosting people. It's in-laws, it's my immediate family, it's extended family, it's friends. Like we're doing parties and get-togethers the entire month long. So it's just a yo-yo of up and down,
Yeah.
up and down, up and down.
Yeah. That's
And
exactly.
yeah, and now going through this program, like you've really shown me that like one day is not, and particularly one meal is not going to kill you at all if you're doing it right all around that. So like you don't have to do these like crazy workouts because it's the holidays. Just stay consistent. It's consistency that wins. And when it comes to your nutrition, like just eat right, whole foods, like just start off with whole foods and protein. If you simply just do that and you start small, then your body's going to reward you. You're going to feel it instantly. And then you can kind of grow from there and do all of that. But it's like, it's little things that really take you far. So now at the holidays, I'm so confident. And I hope that like everybody can develop that proactive approach and not be reactive, where it's after those holidays, they're punishing themselves for, quite honestly, like Thanksgiving's a nutritious meal. We should not have guilt surrounding that. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Oh my gosh. Everything you just said hit the nail on the head. I love how you went into detail too of the process of starting from Halloween with the candy and what literally the thoughts that you have and how you walk yourself through the sabotage and get off of that ripple effect. You're not going to be perfect the whole time. It doesn't have to be perfect for the holidays either. Like we're allowed to celebrate and embrace those moments in a way that's not going to completely throw us off and throw in the towel. It's all about the mindset and the self-talk that you have and your approach going into it. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. And I do want to highlight like your results. I know the picture on the right, you could see how incredible the physical transformation was.
The photo on the left, I mean, it's like, oh my God, I hate that. But honestly, I mean, you had me hooked in that first week because that stomach and like around the hip area, that was actually majority inflammation, which I kind of had figured my body was probably inflamed through all the research I was reading. But I remember when we were cleaning out the cabinet and I had showed you, it was the protein powder. I had showed you the protein powder. My husband's an athlete, so that's always been his jam. And I'm like, you know how to filter it out, you know what to look for. But at the end of the day, yes, he's an athlete, he's not a nutritionist. And I remember showing it to you, and you were like, well, it's not the worst I've seen, but there are some chemicals in here that are just no good. And once we switched the protein powder, I remember telling you my stomach went completely down. And I was like, wait a minute. And I mean, I'm talking like, I even in my thinnest during my 20s, I was still having like probably not the same brand of protein powder, but protein powders with those kinds of chemicals, definitely not as clean as I am now. And I always had like that little like mom pooch on like the bottom part of your stomach. And even though I had great abs, like I looked pretty good, like, and but I could just never get it down. And you hit a certain wall, I think, as just women, and you just think to yourself, okay, this is it. Like, this is just how I'm gonna look. And even when I really did look great at, like in my 20s, like I knew like that I looked great in comparison to everybody my age, especially like after I had kids, and that was wonderful. But that wasn't me. That wasn't my best. Like everybody's best looks different. And so, just switching that protein powder, saw the drastic change. And that's when I was like, okay, like she's got me. I'm hooked. She's got my attention now. And that's honestly what helped me build the trust, because I
Yeah.
took that little baby step. We said, okay, let's look at these ingredients. Let's try there. And because it was such literally a game changer overnight, I was like, whoa. And I knew, I was like, that was not fat. That was not water weight. That was inflammation. And you had me.
I'm so happy you had that aha. I call them aha moments. Wow. When you actually see the shift happen, it can happen and look like so many different things within our journeys. When you see it though, something clicks even more, right? It just puts it into like full drive. And a lot of times people need something like that to really wake them up and say, okay, enough is enough. So I'm happy that you in the beginning, we found those discoveries to help drive it even for in because look what you've accomplished. Look what you've given yourself, the gifts that you've given yourself just by being present, showing up, being consistent, staying on the path, even when things felt hard. You have done really a complete 360 transformation. And there really is no end or destination, technically. I know we talk about that, like, I can't wait to hit my goal and reach my goal. But once you get to that goal, there's going to be another goal. And it's supposed to be that way, right? Because we're constantly developing a better version of ourselves. So when you sit back in that and say, like, I'm in for this journey, like, it's okay to have ups and downs and challenges, but are you heading downward? Are you heading upward? Like, where is the direction your actions and your mind are taking you? And that's really, thank you, Megan, for sharing your journey specifically and what you went through in the beginning until now. It's like you could literally reflect each and every step of the way. And it's just, I know you sent a message to me the other day, like uh, mentioning this, the time frame, like you were like in a month or 6 months from now, I can't wait to see what it's going to look like because you've already felt that feeling of the real results. Like this isn't just, quick results that is gonna possibly you're gonna lose in the future, right? Like so talk about that. Like what's the difference? Seeing yourself now and what you're doing now, how confident are you in that this is a forever thing?
Oh, I'm very confident because it's a total lifestyle change. One of the things I had wanted to touch upon with you for everybody out there listening is how counterintuitive it feels to put yourself first, right? Especially as moms, we think like, okay, we got to put our kids first, got to put our husbands, we've got parents that, are older and need us. We put, especially as women, we're just taught by society to put everybody else before yourself. And you think like, how I can't do this for myself because everybody else needs me. But I'll tell you, like, I know a couple of people that have followed my path since I started. And it really is true that, like, once you start putting yourself first, like, life gets good. I don't know how to explain that, but it just does. Like, things fall into place, like, the blessings come. So, life has, and it's never going to be perfect. You're always going to have struggles. There's always going to be hurdles in the road, but you just feel it differently. Like I am so happy. Like I am so confident. I am so happy. I feel so strong. Like, and it's like nothing can rattle that. And it just feels powerful. Like it's so empowering. And that's all I need to know to be like, this is a forever thing because I don't want to lose that. Like, why would I want to lose myself again? Like I don't. Like I have found the girl that I lost 20 years ago and we've hit the ground running. So, and it's true, like for me, my whole journey with you is in phases, right? And that's what we talk about constantly. Like, I went through the calorie deficit phase of losing fat, but my whole goal has been to gain muscle. And gaining muscle takes a lot of patience, just a lot of time. And if you truly are doing it the right way, how you look on day one is going to be a slight difference from day 365, so like 1 year later. And then if you continue to keep that up, your second year pictures, your third year pictures, like it's just, you're going to be unstoppable. And that's what I see every single day because I really haven't changed much. If anything, I've taken down my cardio now that I'm in this muscle building phase. I am in a surplus, so which is wild to me because as we discussed, I'm still kind of losing weight, which is just, it doesn't make sense to me. How is that possible? But it's
You want
happening.
to share how many calories you eat?
Oh my God. What are we at this week? I think, is it 2,200 this week?
Yeah. So
Yeah, I
we're
think.
in the carb cycling of the
Yeah, I do the carb
2000.
cycling,
Yeah.
which I love. And that's the other thing. I've never believed in the diets out there that are like no carbs. I'm
Sure.
like, carbs are our energy source. Like, no, like that doesn't make any sense. So I love that. Yeah. So I play around with the carb scenario. And it really doesn't feel any different for me because I'm eating 4 to 5 times a day. And it's just playing around with really the portion control, right? Like it's
It's
really all.
it's so it's interesting. Like every check in every week when you're like, I lost another pound, and we keep increasing the calories. But yeah, for your unique situation of like building muscle, that's a very specific thing. It's eating to lose weight and eating to build muscle and eating to maintain are three different combinations of what you're putting in your body and how you're moving it. So it
Yeah, and
just,
it's wild too because the number goes down on the scale, but I told you this week, I'm like, my body is so solid. Like
yeah.
when I feel my legs, I'm like, it is all muscle now. Like my abs, like continue to just get even more chiseled. And I'm like, I'm not really doing anything different in my workout. I do the same consistent workouts like on each day, But that's what it is. It's consistency in both the working out, like a slight progressive overload, and it's the nutrition. And so I'm like, okay, if this is how I look after 6 months, I'm gonna look even better at the year mark. And then when the 2 year mark hits and the 3 year mark hits, and I wanna continue this momentum because I wanna be that grandparent that's carrying my kids on the back. And, I just wanna be able to help my kids in all ways possible. Like as a mom, I go like 110% in for my kids. I never want them, I obviously, they're going to have to struggle, and that's what real life is. You want them to have a struggle and whatnot. But when they get old, like, and they're juggling their families, like, I want to be so hands-on so that way they don't feel like the weight that, like, I feel today. So.
The fact that you're saying it now and thinking about it now is just, it's really beautiful to see. And you're on it, like you're on that path. So
It just goes back to
yeah,
that proactive approach, right? Being proactive versus reactive. I'm like a sponge. I absorb all this knowledge that the world is telling us, right? I listen to women in their 50s and their 60s, and they're saying, I wish I started this. I wish I started then. Even with the 40s coming up, I know so many women that it takes them to their 40s, and then they're like, oh, okay, now I want to get
especially
ready.
the
And I'm like,
menopause.
no. I'm like, no, I want to be hitting my 40s being like, boom, like here
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
never too
proactive.
late. It's never a wrong time to do this. I mean, your time is your most precious
Right.
asset and resource, right? It's something that's priceless. So, again, no matter what year it is, what age you are, this is the best thing you could possibly do is prioritize you and your health. So, yeah, lucky for you to be where you're at and to do this now. But for sure, it's a reflection of tapping into your inner goals and your what motivates you and what you see your future looking like, which is a big part of this. That's why we talked about what's your reason why. You can even go deeper, and also let's visualize what that health and fitness or success of that looks like. Like who's that person in a year from now, right? How does she feel? What does she look like? What are the things she does that maybe she can't do right now? Thank you, Megan, so much for sharing all of that. It was such an inspiration, and you have way more to come. Like that's really exciting as well to just watch you continue this journey. So Kimmy,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, hello. I started my journey just in August. So I'm about 3 months in. And I'd say that when I found Crystal, I was probably at a deep, deep part of, I had tried like every diet known to man. I had done, anything that you can think of, and they ended up always being unsuccessful because it was not just realistic. I always give Crystal the example, like I did keto, which yes, I lost some weight, but then I went on vacation and I was like, I love bread, I love carbs. Like, why am I doing this to myself? So I had really struggled for well over a year of just kind of mentally being in the headspace of, maybe this is just who I am. But I was very unhappy with who I was. I was always tired. I was almost at my heaviest weight that I had been at. I'm a therapist, so I work with little ones on the floor, and it was getting so hard of sitting on the floor all day, getting up, and I'm 46 years old. Like, why am I this exhausted? My kids are now grown and off to college, and I finally came to the realization. We went on vacation over the summer and we took pictures, and I did not like who I saw in those pictures. So I had come across Crystal. She posted something on her page that said, like, if you are dieting, you are doing it all wrong. And that just resonated with me because that's how I really felt. Like, I didn't want to be on a diet for the rest of my life. I wanted to learn how to eat and sustain. And I truly did not know that because I was definitely the person that would wake up, skip breakfast, get in the car. With my job, we don't have like set lunches. It's basically I drive client to client. So my lunch was, oh, I'm starving now. It's 1 and there's a Burger King or there's McDonald's, and I'm just going to go in here and stop. and eat whatever. And mentally, I'm thinking, well, it's not that bad because I skipped breakfast. And,
Right.
but here I am eating 1,000 calories and I still have dinner. And, it just was a bad cycle, and to where almost like I just would play mental games with myself of, oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. These clothes still are fitting me. It's not that bad, but they were fitting me very tightly. So after that vacation, and I had told Crystal during our first meeting too that I hated taking pictures. I have so many wonderful pictures of my kids and my husband, but I'm not in them. I didn't like how I looked in them. So that was kind of my aha moment of, I want to be in these pictures. Like, I want to be, looking back years from now and enjoying life and keeping up with my kids. And now that my kids are, 18 and 21, I want to enjoy my time with them. And I'd had some back issues too of like, like I don't want to be in chronic pain either. So when I first met with Crystal, I kind of like laughed to myself of like, here I'm coming into her because I am a picky eater. I'm not your typical, oh, I love vegetables, because I
Yeah.
don't. So we talked because I was like, I really don't like vegetables. Here's maybe two vegetables that I'll eat. I love sweets. So I kind of like laughed to myself of thinking like, man, she is gonna have her work cut out for her, because I just, I never got into that, but I loved proteins, I love meat, but I just didn't know how to eat it. Plus,
Yeah.
I was never a cook. My husband was the cook. So I feel like I gave her somewhat of a challenge, but she didn't even blink. She like took it. And the other thing too is that we kind of had discussed that I did not want to count calories. I did not want to weigh food. I did not want to log in this many calories, this meal, because at the end of the day, I wanted to learn how to eat for my lifetime. And for me, it was, if I could see my meal plan, learn off of that, know my portion sizes, then I know that this would be something sustainable, because then I would know just, okay, I can eat that just off of sight alone. So the plan that Crystal gave me was amazing, because it's just that, like, I don't have to sit there and weigh out my food. And she also made me a plan of being on the go. Most of my breakfasts and lunches are very much, I make them, do my meal prep, I make them, and I go with them to where driving to the next client, I can just eat that in the drive. So the thing that I loved about this plan was that it was very sustainable for, I feel like anyone can do this, because I feel like I was a challenge. And if I can do this and lose weight, then anyone can do this. So I started the plan in August. And the other thing too is like, I don't really like to work out, like Pilates, like to walk. And Crystal very much was like, great, let's start there. And I have been doing this journey and I've had hiccups. I've had weekends to where, I've said like, I'm going down to college to see my kid, or I ate out. And it's so great because it's like, I don't have the guilt anymore. I don't have the, okay, well, I ate this, now I have to give up. Now I just, like how Megan, talked about, like, I'm going to gain 10 pounds. And it's not that plan at all. And it's funny because it's like, I'll eat off my plan, gain some weight, but still lose that weight and lose more weight beyond that too. So it's amazing to me. Also within this journey is I have learned to cook. I now am the cooker of the food, which I never had interest in cooking at all. I never got into it, but I love the simple meals that Crystal gives me. And it's great because we kind of talked about this before of like simple ingredients, like I don't want a recipe that has 60 and 20 different ingredients, and none of her meals are that way. Like I'm making meatballs and I'm having pasta. Like I'm eating true, real food. I'm having desserts. I love my chocolate. I am making pumpkin chocolate chip desserts. We're having these like wonderful cottage cheese truffles that are amazing and they taste like cheesecake. So so it's been, going into the holidays, I like I have no fear because I know my plan. I know what good healthy food is. We have a lot of holiday parties that we go to. So just like how Megan talked about, it's like once the holidays hit, it's like event after event after event. Well, I have Thanksgiving. My birthday is in December, 10 days before um Christmas. So that adds on to it. And then you got Christmas and New Year's. And I was definitely always the person that was like, well, let me just get past the holidays and the first of the year I'll get started. And then I'd get started and I'd be gung ho. And then it was like, I can't sustain this. I'm tired of counting calories. I'm tired of, not eating realistically, like I do all these plans where it's like you have to eat all these vegetables, and it's like I'm not going to do that. So I'll do it for a few weeks, maybe lose some water weight, and then I'm back to where I started. So with my plan, there's so many different like meals that I've already eaten to where I know that even if I have to eat off plan, I know what healthy choices I can take instead. With the holiday parties that we're going to, now that I'm more interested in baking and cooking, I found so many different recipes because it's always like bring a dessert or an appetizer. For me, that's easy now. Like I know I can bring this dessert and I know that it's healthy and no one else will know that it's healthy. Um, but it's just I've lost 21 pounds and 22 inches. I've never felt this great in my life. It's
You
been
say 22?
22 inches. Yeah.
Okay, the slide is off a couple of pounds.
Yeah.
On the slide it says 20. I'm like, 22.
Yeah. So, I mean, my clothes fit different. I told Crystal before, like, my closet is like brand new to me because obviously we always keep clothes that you don't fit into anymore. And now it's like I have a shopping spree in my own closet because it's all these clothes that now fit and fit loosely that I haven't worn in years. I now am happy to take pictures. I see a difference in my face. Like my face was so puffy and inflamed when I first started. And now it's like my daughter turned 21 and we took pictures. And this was over a month ago. And I almost was like, oh my gosh, like I look 10 years younger to myself, you know? And she laughs because everyone says, "Oh, are you guys sisters?" I'm like, "Yes, I'll just keep losing the weight,
You look
and
like it.
we can just be sisters."
Yeah.
But I'm motivation to my kids. My kids are seeing it. My husband's seeing it. People that I know are seeing the differences. I still have a lot more to go, but I know I can do it. And I look at my weight as like in 10-pound increments. Like okay, these 10 pounds are gone. These 10 pounds are gone. But I don't on this program, I don't ever feel that I'm restricted. I don't ever feel like I'm missing out on something. I don't ever feel like, oh, well, I can't go to this social function because I'm on this diet and I can only eat X, Y, or Z. So that's been the biggest thing is that I've learned how to eat appropriately in the right way. I've learned how to cook mentally, like we've talked a lot about like the self-care aspect of I was always mom or the therapist, it was mom or work. And I never really like took that time for myself. And, now at the end of the day, I'm giving myself that time to be me and doing these things for me. And I don't feel guilty, which is nice. Because I know at the end of the day, I need the self-care and the self-love to be who I am for everyone within my family and my everyone that I'm around. And as long as I'm the healthier me, then I'm a better person for them. And my kids feed off of it. Like my daughter is an exercise science major and she even loves some of the recipes that I've sent her. So it's really rewarding for me to see like my daughter like look up to me in some senses now to where I was looking up to her. She's my little workout queen. And I'm like, wow, it's so like what a change to kind of see her be like, oh wow, mom, can you make me these? Like Crystal has a great these protein peanut butter ball things that are a great little snack. And I made them and my daughter had come home for like a quick night and she tried one. She's like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Can you make me some?"
Oh,
So it's neat too because like I was never like a protein powder drinker, but Crystal has these recipes to where just put the protein powder within this snack and you don't have to sit there and drink. So it's like the greatest thing about this program is like you totally make it an outside the box kind of thing. Like every other program, it was like you have to follow this exactly. And I feel like one is you're always there for us. Like if I'm questioning something at a grocery store, I message you, you get right back to us. You always like I'll send you recipes and you're like, this looks great, or you'll always say like we can modify this way. I just feel like the support that like you give all of us and also the community, like that was huge too, of like being able to, have these group calls that we have within this program and have a community. And it's like Megan and I are definitely at different stages along this journey, but we have a lot in common too. And I look up to her of like, this is what I want to see in my future too. So it's neat that even though not everyone is at the same exact stage, we all can relate in some sense to each other. And so I mean this program has just changed my life of who I am, and I really can't thank you enough, and probably my family can't thank you enough too, because they've never seen this side of me. So it's like it's the best thing that I ever found along Instagram one day. It's just like that one slide that spoke to me.
gosh, Kimmy, you said so many incredible things. I don't even have questions because you just touched on everything I would want to hear from you. And I think everyone on this call or watching is gonna need to hear from you. And I love what you said to Kimmy about the support team, because it's reciprocated, right? Like your kids love you. You are the best mom, and your husband, how supportive he is. Like it's beautiful to see it all come together and how every single person involved is experiencing goodness and progress. And like there's so many positive things. Even me as a coach, like having you guys as clients, every person that comes into the community is a way to just like get better and build this beautiful environment. And that's another key thing is your environment. You're creating an environment where you could thrive and become the best you. And I
Mhm.
love that you break it down in increments too, like 10 pounds, 10 pounds, 10 pounds, because, even though we have this big, big goal at the end, right? We call it the end, but it's never the end, right? Because we're always progressing. But it's nice to make it attainable. And imagine you were missing the bigger picture this whole time. And now the pieces are aligned and look at you blossom. Like, look at you go, both of you. It's just hard to put into words this moment for me because I've waited for this for so long to have a community and to have women who want the same thing as me. Like, again, we all want the same thing, but it's so incredible to see how different it is in each one of our unique journey. So, thank you so much, Kimmy. That was beautiful. Same thing for you, Megan. Both of you have what a wonderful testimony. We have familiar faces, so I know there's a lot of progress on this call, not just between Megan and Kimmy, but we celebrate everyone that's been in the community, but everyone that's here to make a difference, whether it be in the smallest way possible or a complete transformation. We're supportive and we're here for each other. So that's the beauty of all of this. Holiday confidence essentials. These are some of the main things that we want to break through or talk about or get clarity on. So what the holidays should look like: a balanced plate, as we mentioned, the protein is very important. Fiber is so important. That's where that gut health comes in. I really don't talk about gut health enough, but it's so vital, right, for our health and where everything begins. And fiber is your best friend. Every little bacteria in there is going to feed off that fiber, but make it fun. As you heard, we have delicious recipes that are fun. We will share some of those too. The bonus gift for this masterclass for the holidays is a recipe book. So it's exciting to use if you want this holiday season, but for sure a balanced plate is key. The crowding out is huge. The method to avoid craving. So when we add in more good, we're gonna just crowd out the bad. And when you add in the good, you realize that craving that you had or that thought like, oh, I want this or I want that was just an emotional thing, like a trigger, like some kind of relationship that you built in the past that obviously isn't serving you. So once you satisfy yourself in a different way, you're like, I don't need that anymore, right? You break that craving or that trigger that you had. So crowding out is very, very powerful instead of restricting. And then knowing how to handle social events and family pressure, which I love you guys have spoke about and are very confident in going into that. And these parties, I guess we can't say it's only 6 days in the next 13 weeks because it's holiday parties. There are a lot of events and things happening on the weekends, which even makes it more important to feel confident and in control. And then knowing when to say yes and how to say no without guilt. I love that Kimmy said she prepares meals to bring. Like everyone's like, oh, bring something. Great. Take advantage of that opportunity. Make something that's going to be healthy is an awesome way to do that. And then, of course, staying on track without tracking everything. This totally is preference of where you are in your journey and what feels good for you. But the beauty is that there's many different ways to go about it. If you want to track, if you don't, if you want to visualize, it's gotta feel good and it's gotta be doable, right? We want it to be doable. So number one is ditching the self-sabotage. So if you can relate to this, if this is something that you've been experiencing on your own right now or thinking about, so embracing flexibility and compassion, recognize that progress is the key thing here. As Megan said, consistency wins the game. It's not about perfection. Fostering a nurturing relationship with yourself, paving the way to true freedom and lasting change this holiday season. That's the goal. So self-love matters. There's a lot of words we could put on this, not just self-love, but when we talk about self-love, it's just being kinder to ourselves because you got to give yourself more credit. You have to understand that you're not the problem and you deserve love. You deserve health. You deserve all of these things. So if you are someone watching this that feels bad or, just frustrated, you do not, I give you permission to let that go and know that you've tried and you want the right things. Again, it's the approach. So one meal, one day, or one weekend does not define you. Guilt equals wasted energy. Again, it's not the right way to go about it for yourself. It's not going to bring anything good from that. And then awareness is power. Being aware and identifying maybe things that we could do better. Like it's okay to mess up or again, life's going to challenge us in ways. So knowing and being mindful, building habits that can bend without breaking. That I love that bending without breaking, the flexibility that you give yourself, to come back from a challenge is really important. And then self-compassion fuels consistency. So perfection will kill. Consistency will drive you towards your wins. So number two is your relationship with food. Embracing a joyful mindset around food helps foster neutrality and enjoyment. By letting go of labels, we can savor each bite and find freedom in our dining experiences, enhancing our well-being. So letting go of labels, that could be perceived as many things. Specifically when it comes to labels on foods, I see that as just choosing things that don't have labels, right? The more you could choose whole foods and real foods, the better off you're going to be. That's where that quality comes in. This is where that balance, you have to find what's going to work for you. Specifically taking a look at your lifestyle. Do you work 12-hour shifts? Do you work night shifts? Do you work at home? What does your lifestyle look like? And how can we tackle that low-hanging fruit of taking that first next step? We want to really start small and take small steps. So that's a way of helping with this. And also the quality. How can we develop the healthier, convenient foods more in our life, that 80-20 balance? So knowing what's good, what's bad, and how to balance that, but also enjoying the things that we see as bad and flipping it to be good. So enjoying dessert and still hitting your goals, which is foreign to a lot of people, but it's true. It happens. We have 2 women doing it right now that can testify. It's going to give you the food freedom, especially when the moments call for it. And then the mindset shift that makes every choice empowering, not punishing. It's not about control. It's about connection and trust, right? Really trusting yourself and the mindset that you've built. Preparing mentally, not perfectly. This is a game changer when you think ahead, right? So preparing to prepare when you're going to be somewhere, a different environment, whether it be vacation or just simply the holidays, being mindful of your environment and the choices that will serve you best is key. So having a plan, preparing will allow you to make the best choices and have confidence in any situation. So progress over perfection and setting realistic expectations is something that you want to start doing, right? Because we got to be honest with ourselves. We have to meet ourselves where we're at right now. It could be overwhelming to think too far ahead, or get stuck on perfection, especially when things don't go your way. But being realistic, and then just focusing on the progress and the consistency. But mindfulness matters. That's developing those skills, and developing that as part of your everyday routine is what's going to help you prepare for those moments. So this is what true health is about. No shortcuts, no guilt, and no depriving yourself. And I know Kimmy does have a story about shortcuts.
Well, it was my daughter. So my daughter, being in college, she has to take some of these, gen ed requirements, and she was taking a math course this summer. And it was the professor had said, you've got to spend so many hours a week studying and doing all this. And I never saw her study at all. And she was like, that's okay. I'll just chat GPT it, get those answers. And, she did great in the class. I think she only missed 2 points, great A, but cheated the entire way. So then she takes a class this semester at college that's in person. And all the math that she had to learn in that summer school course is the math being used in this class. And so I kind of told her, I'm like, it will always catch up with you no matter what, because now she's having to reteach herself, because this class is obviously not online. And now she has to reteach herself all the math. She can't cheat because all the tests are in person. And so, I relate it so much to eating healthy. It's always going to catch up with you, even when you're like, oh, I'll just get by. Nope, it always catches back up to you. So I'm a professor too. I teach a class at a college, and I give the same scenario to my students of like, cheating is never the answer, because no matter what you think in the moment, it may be, oh, this is easy, my easy A, it's always going to catch back up to you.
Yeah, you never know. You never know when it's gonna bite you in the butt, right? And same thing with health, like you said, just not taking the shortcut and finding truly what is worth your time. The shortcut is going to lead you to wasting your time and having to go back to square one anyway, right? That's what we're trying to avoid. We want to break the cycle, and we want to find that forever. Thank you, Kimmy, for sharing that. So as I mentioned, we do have our holiday recipe book. Megan was so kind to compile most of the recipes lately that we've been experiencing. They're absolutely delicious. To indulging and feeling good and nourished. So that is your gift, your bonus gift for this masterclass, because we have to celebrate, right? It's the holidays. So I'm excited for you guys to receive that, and let us know if you do try anything. You can always send a picture or share your thoughts. But the fourth one is sustainable habits. So sustainability matters, consistency matters, embracing nourishment and balance in your meals and in life, prioritizing fresh, whole foods while fostering a trusting relationship with your body, focus on gentle consistency. I always say, it doesn't really matter how long it takes you to get there. It's more about, the mindset that you have and the roadmap. Because we never know when life's going to throw a curveball. We don't know when things are going to throw us off. That's just life. It's always going to happen. It's always going to be chaotic. There's going to be something. So that's not the problem, really. Like, we have to set a foundation to overcome anything, right? And how we do that and how we allow ourselves patience through that, and the consistency can look different each and every time and for each and every one of us. So the focus is truly on you and how you talk to yourself, the strengths that you have and that you utilize, and pick yourself back up in a positive way. Everything else will follow. Your action's going to follow when you align the mindset that you need. But that's where the sustainability comes from. So I really wanted to touch on that. Is, it's never going to be a perfect journey, but you have to really focus on those things that I mentioned. So the crowding out, focusing on what you can add, what you can control, of course. Keep promises to yourself. Small daily wins are great, and that's where the community comes in too, to help with that and just continue that momentum and support. And then learn to trust your body again, because it knows what it needs. Once you get out of your own way sometimes, right? We got to get the bad out and add in more of the good, your body's naturally going to know how to heal itself and how to move its own needle. And you're going to see that, the benefits, right? It's not just about weight loss or a number. It's about how you feel on the inside. It might be about fitting into your clothes more, might be about your kids or the people that you love around you, noticing, giving you those compliments. There's so many beautiful things that will come with this process and this roadmap that you allow yourself to be on. So as we mentioned, no shortcuts, just real lasting results. It takes decades and years to get to this kind of place of being unhealthy, but it takes a fraction. Really, like this, when we say no shortcuts, it might scare people like, oh, how long is this going to take? It's a fraction of the time that it took to get here. So if we just give that to ourselves, if we allow that fraction of the time to truly transform, you're going to be on a never-ending road to bettering yourself for the rest of your life. So nourish from the inside out. That's also a key in this, is looking from within, because they're the things that are going to set your foundation and allow you to experience that ripple effect towards bettering yourself. How quickly or how slow it takes, again, it depends on you. There's no race. There's no right or wrong. Whether you break it down in increments, whether you go fast, like, again, it's totally, you have the freedom of that. So starting from within, when you nourish from the inside out, your mind, body, and soul, your health becomes something that works for you, not against you. And your body leads the way. Like, you just got to listen to it. So when your body's cared for, your confidence will naturally grow as well. True health isn't about less. It's about more enjoyment, more energy, and more freedom. Just keeps getting better. It's your turn to feel confident, healthy, and in control. So this is a little exercise I want you to do, because again, you're here for a reason. Whether it's a tiny little impact that you're going to take from this and, take for yourself to start implementing these things, or if you wanted to plug in and see what the community is like, what does true health mean to you? And I want you to also set an intention. So like, write down one small step that you could take today or tomorrow towards sustainable health. So we want to take action. We could talk about this all day, how amazing it is, and all of our journeys and how much we're benefiting from this mindset and this roadmap of sustainable health. But if we don't do anything, then we're never going to move that needle. So action is vital. Like, once we get it and we align those things, the action needs to follow. So that's why I really want you to hone in on that and think about that, what that is for you. So align your mind with what your body needs and take that action, because you're in control of your journey. If we're stuck in the vicious cycle of dieting or losing weight, gaining it back, we have to reframe the approach. So we have to find out, what are we doing that's not serving us, and what can we start doing today that's going to? So part of this is an opportunity to be in the community, to see what it's like, see if it's a good fit for you. If it is, then it's something that you could take advantage of, right, and benefit from. So when you join the True Health community, you're able to build sustainable habits that fit your life, specifically, very custom to you. You're able to feel confident around food, but around food all year round. You're going to learn the skills for when life happens. Right now, obviously, we're focused on the holidays because that's what's coming up, but this is something we do all the time. It's not new to us. I know Kimmy and Megan are super confident because we've been doing it since day one. So it's really that approach to set you up for life, whenever life's going to happen. And then create health and results that last. This isn't fluff. This isn't the shortcut, that's just going to get you to lose weight quick. It's going to be consistent and healthy, but something that's going to last you forever. So there is a method that I like to present to my clients as well. It's called the 390 Method. 3 stands for 3 different areas. So how to nourish, how to move, and how to live truly. At the end of the day, these are the main pillars, right? To nourish, to move, and to live in a way that's going to be true to you. And 90 is the time frame. Usually it's statistically 90 days are proven to be a game changer, right? A time frame that's going to allow you to see those results, to feel good, and actually know you're in the right place and getting the things that you want that align with the goals that you have. So it's very exciting, something that is offered to you if you're ready to reframe your approach in this way. The bonus gift is if you book a call to go deeper. Could be perfect for some of you, but maybe not all of you. But to book that call, you can get access in the community, and it's only growing and getting better, and more resources are going to be coming as we go. So it's an exciting time. The closing affirmation that I want to leave you is with, you want to say this to yourselves or just really take it in as I say it, but I am confident, I am capable, I am in control, and I choose true health. So I give you permission if you need to hear that, or you need to give yourself permission this holiday to not start over, to start now, actually, and different than the past. So I want you to be proud of you going into the new year and take action today. So the 3 gifts had said earlier, one of them is the recipe book, the holiday recipe book. The other 2 are your True Health Daily Checklist, some things that you could really hone in on. Maybe you could kind of highlight what your low-hanging fruit is, or something, or even things that you're already doing, but new ideas that you could start implementing. And then the affirmation cards are just beautiful messages that you could say to yourself every day or every night, whatever that fits into your routine, and to manifest some positivity in your life towards health. But another important message on the technical side of things, make sure to check your spam folder for important emails and announcements. Thank you. If anyone has questions, here's the time to kind of have another discussion. But I really appreciate your time in watching this. And hopefully this presentation has moved the needle for you in some way, and to be more confident going into the holidays. AD, is this Andrea?
Yeah. Hi, Crystal. How are you?
Hi.
To tell you, this was wonderful. I would love to do a testimony and just, talk about the pantry makeover, because I feel like that's where I succeeded. And that's kind of how I started. As you know, I found you because I was looking for gut health, or, dealing with gut issues, and just doing the pantry makeover. I feel like it's been so helpful for me. So definitely that's something I think should be highlighted. It's helped me lose 15 pounds, but it's also helped me sustain it. I didn't gain any of it back, so definitely a proud moment for me. You just doing something as simple as reading labels and looking at ingredients and switching out artificial stuff.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you, Andre, for sharing that. I know you mentioned too that the maintaining part, I mean, that's incredible to see the impact that just switching to quality foods or healthier alternatives can have on your health. And it definitely begins in the gut. So I'm so happy that you've not only honed in on that while you were in your program, but still continue that to this day, because I mean, I'm sure you can agree. Once you know this information and you have that shift, because it's your body, it's your health, it's what you're experiencing. So when you feel better and you see that, like, who wants to go back, right?
Absolutely. Oh no, this is definitely continued for
Yeah.
life. I feel like I definitely I relate so much to what Kimmy's her story, what she talks about, what Megan talks about. Whether I'm in the program, not in the programs that did, whatever journey I'm on, everything that I've learned is definitely for life.
I love that you apply yourself. You put yourself in the situations to grow and to get better in your own way. This environment of positivity and support, and being able to relate and be safe in a space as women, and all of you have an impact on what you say. So thank you, Andrea. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you spoke. Yeah, I mean, the floor is yours. This is, again, something that we need to celebrate more as women in this space. And it's an impact. It's something that you can't just create out of thin air. Like, we all make it what it is. So it's very unique and it's very special. So I want you to know that you all have a part in that, a really big part in that. And I'm just so blessed that you're willing to be here and to do that and create this environment. So anything, Nancy, I see your mic is off. I don't, did you want to say hello?
Yes, my mic is off, I think. I will.
Oh, there we go.
It's very early here. Well, not now, it's not early, but I'm not very camera ready
How's
either.
Mesa?
Yes, we're in Mesa for a few weeks before the holidays.
Yes.
So yes, this has been very good. I really enjoyed Megan and Kimmy's testimonial, and I am ready. And I have been on your journey before. I mean, I'm still on your journey, but as you know, I've had some roadblocks maybe. But I'm ready to get back at it. And being down here in Mesa in the sunny, warm, and leaving everything behind that was holding me back, I'm ready to get at it again.
It's amazing. I love that, Nancy. Yeah, and you're in the community as well, so it's perfect, to just keep plugging away, keep immersing yourself, right, to help motivate that and keep that momentum going. That feeling that you have, right? Like we have
Right.
to nurture it. It starts out with like a seed, and you have to keep watering it. Did you or what do you struggle most with during the holidays, Nancy? How do you feel going into them?
Well, I love to bake.
Mhm.
I love to bake cookies. My family loves to eat my cookies. But yeah, just the regular food, not regular, I shouldn't say mainstream food. I think you've given me some examples before of alternatives that I've made and not told my family, and
Yeah.
they've liked them.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. We'll be just getting back home for Thanksgiving, and it'll be at my house. So I will have control of
Wonderful.
what is.
So you're gonna make them a full, healthy Thanksgiving meal.
I'm sure I'll still have the mashed potatoes because they will know that. And
Wait, so that's funny. In the recipe book, there's mashed potatoes with cottage cheese in them, so it gives it more protein.
Obviously, I try to share everything with them and gently steer them in the right direction.
The love and care and passion you have for your family is just the best. And I know that you're going to be the light for everyone, and you help influence your family. Well, thank you, Nancy. I loved hearing that little update. And the holidays, yeah, they're going to be interesting for you, being able to really have control and make a lot of different things. So that recipe book, I hope it comes in handy. I hope you use some of those recipes, and we would love to hear about it, especially since you're in the community. We do have exciting things coming up that will be added to it. So whoever's in there will be along for that journey. I appreciate all of your time. I appreciate all of you speaking and using your voice in the way that you do. They're a great masterclass. Hopefully more to come, and we can continue the momentum.